Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Crypto Takeover here, coming back with another Bitcoin cryptocurrency video for you today. We got some big news coming in today, and then we're going to take a look at the charts. Bitcoin maybe still finding support at around that $18,000 area or so. We're currently sitting at about 17,900. We did have one last dip. We're going to see if Bitcoin maybe wants to sell off, continuing after these couple of dips, or if we're actually going to find support. So taking a look at some of the news articles that have come out today, MassMutual joins the Bitcoin club with a $100 million purchase. So MassMutual is actually an insurance company, and they've been there's been videos and or actually articles just posted on the Wall Street Journal. So I mean, big news headlines are coming out that MassMutual is purchasing this much Bitcoin. And so we could read this if we wanted to, but we're just going to go ahead and take a look at some of the key parts of this investment. It's Tiny One, a Springfield, Massachusetts based insurance company whose general investment accounted total nearly 235 billion as of September 30th, but it signifies further momentum for Bitcoin, which has surged this fall. The price of a single Bitcoin peaked late in November. So basically, you know, we're having such big companies get into the crypto space now. It is just incredible. It's crazy to see this. And so, you know, the fact that there's, you know, continuous news about this too as well. Obviously good news for Bitcoin, but right now we're still seeing a little bit of price sell-off. I think that this dip is probably going to be bought up, but we'll take a look at it and see. Insurance MassMutual is the latest financial institution to invest in Bitcoin, buying $100 million worth of Bitcoin of digital token. The company also acquired a 5% stake in crypto startup NYDIG. Billionaire Mike Novogratz highlighted the insurance Bitcoin purchase as the most important news in the crypto space in 2020 and called for a regulatory approval. The investment represents 0.04% of MassMutual's 235 billion general investment account. So this is just money they can throw into whatever, you know what I'm saying? But this is actually a lot of money for Bitcoin, and this is a relatively well-known company or insurance company to be investing in Bitcoin, and that much money invested in Bitcoin too is just insane. So $100 million worth. I mean, we could probably take that out and calculate that too. Let's see. So if we do 100 million divided by let's just say 18,000, you know, you're having 5,555 you know, dollar or Bitcoin that this company's holding now too as well. And I do believe that there's other places we can go and see like who has the most Bitcoin out of a lot of these companies too. I think Grayscale is on the top of that list too as well. So obviously insurance funds are taking a hedge against possible things that are going on inside of the market too as well. Here we have a Seeking Alpha article, How I Stopped Worrying and Learned to Love Bitcoin. This is also just another thing that we can also kind of take a look at if we wanted to. Bitcoin is going mainstream as digital gold. The value of Bitcoin depends on the size of the network, which is positioned to explode. Given current technicals, wait for a better entry. So yeah, I used to think Bitcoin was stupid investment, changed my mind. So, you know, a lot of other people just talking about how, you know, it's just best to accumulate, you know. It really is. It's just best to kind of have that accumulation status when it comes to Bitcoin. And, you know, if you buy the dip, you buy the dip, you know, and that's what we're looking to do right now is kind of scoop up here on this dip. So let's see, we got some more. I'm not too sure what this is all about, so we'll come back to that. Why is the Bitcoin price, or why is the price of Bitcoin falling? When will it stop? So Bitcoin seemed to be headed down, but how long will it go before rebounding? After a fairly bullish period across the board for the crypto markets, it seems the most cryptocurrencies have hit a bit of a bump in the road. For example, over the past months, Bitcoin has been on a bullish trend towards 20,000. However, with prices sinking below 18,000, it seems as though Bitcoin may have officially started to retrace. Bitcoin was unable to make its significant move past December 2017 all-time high. The bears stepped in to prevent the price from breaking above the 20,000 psychological price point, and were able to push it back below $18,000, tagging 61% Fibonacci retracement, 618. Okay, level previous major pivot low. Yeah, so I know that there's been some talk about some fib retracements here when we're hitting a nice little fib level as of right now too as well, and finding a little bit of a bounce. But we'll have to wait to see if we're going to actually retrace lower than that. Bitcoin could retrace as far as 16,000 before rebounding. However, buyers have not let the price fall too far yet. The bulls quickly stepped in to buy Bitcoin at this price and kept the price within the well-defined parallel channel. If 17,600 is defined as respective, then the bullish Elliott wave count shows a move up to test 21,000 resistance level. He continued, if this level is not defended, I would expect the bears to push it way back down to 16,000, where the median line of the pitchfork should act as support. Still, Elliott wave is a fractal. As long as Bitcoin continues to make higher highs, the trend is intact and we should continue to push to new highs. But we could turn the bearish trend around. Indeed, Neo, head of research, crypto investment firm Stacks Funds, wrote in a report Thursday, our analysis believe more inertia is required to push Bitcoin beyond 20,000 psychological barrier. And indeed, more inertia could be in short order, or at least in order of several months. Further economic stimulus could be a boon for Bitcoin. I think he meant boom, but becoming together to get through the reach down of the news and finding a story of several about economic stimulus. So yeah, we've heard some different thoughts about maybe there being another stimulus check being passed to as well by the end of the month. So I've also been hearing a lot about that. Unlike USD, Bitcoin has fixed inflation rate. So hyperinflation, obviously, with the US dollar. The US dollar is likely to continue to weaken over the long term, as we've determined by our charts too as well. Bitcoin Detire could be boon to some altcoins. Okay, so yeah, and then we could see a rise in some altcoins here as Bitcoin, has a little bit of correction or moves sideways for a little bit. So let's move over into the charts here. I know this is what we all look forward to on the channel, but we just want to go over some news articles just there for a little bit. And so what we're seeing here, looking at the 8-hour time frame, we've gotten a big dot here, a big green dot here on the 8-hour time frame. Money flow has still started to trickle off just a tad bit. So what we kind of want to do is we want to zoom out just to on these lower time frames, just to see if we're starting to curve anywhere back up. So our 2-hour definitely looks like it's in the red for the most part as of right now. We had this nice blood diamond here to signal us that we were moving down further, and lo and behold, we moved down further. After a little bit of a bounce, we continue down further. So what we're looking for here, possibly, we're putting in a lower high on our Cipher B momentum wave too, as well as of right now. Taking a look at the 90-minute time frame, it still looks like we could get another rejection here, probably come back down to retest this trend line. But we are kind of forming somewhat of a symmetrical triangle once again on the larger time frame, and we'll have to see how this wants to play out in one direction or the other. So we'll probably get a nice little bounce here in the short term, and then seeing if we're going to come back down even lower or not. We do have a snake eyes here on the 4-hour, but money flow is starting to round off just a tad bit, so that could keep us underwater just a little bit more. And then let's see about the 5-hour, 6-hour. 6-hour is giving us also a nice little snake eye pattern here too as well. But we're going to have to wait to see if this wants to continue to sell off. It does look like we are starting to see a little bit of a bounce from a red money flow here, and what we might be looking for is something like this, where we peak, come down and clip into the red, and then we continue back up further too as well. And last time we did that on the 6-hour, we kind of had this peak into the red money flow, and then we continued up higher, peak into red money flow and continued up higher. And yeah, that was pretty much the start of our continued bull run too as well. So I'm thinking that's probably what's going to happen, is that we come back down a little bit into this reddish area on the 6-hour, and then we'll probably continue pushing up from there, but we'll probably stay in the symmetrical triangle for a little bit longer and then kind of move out from that point. So taking a look at the 12-hour here, it still looks like our money flow is still looking pretty nice. Momentum wave starting to recover just a tad bit, possibly a big green dot. And what I've really been kind of keeping a close eye on is waiting for a sell signal here with market guide indicator. So if y'all are unfamiliar with what indicators we use a variety of paid for indicators on this channel. Market Cipher is our bread and butter, and then we also use the TI sequential by tone vays and the market guide buy and sell signal. So you can check out the links in the description box below if you want to pick up some of those indicators. And then also, if you're just curious on how we trade this market, you can check us out on Patreon. We have a link in the description box below if you want to check us out on Patreon and learn about some of the altcoins that we're getting into as well. But with that being said, I think we'll go ahead and make this a shorter video for today. I just wanted to kind of browse through some news articles, see where we might be holding support here. But we're looking for probably a break from one direction to the other on this symmetrical triangle here. And we'll just kind of have to be patient with our move and see how this wants to play out. So folks, I hope that was interesting to y'all. Let's go ahead and give a shout out to our Patreon members. While we're at it, shout out to David, N, Jasmine, Crypto Rex, Leo, Sparky, Johnny 20, William, Quentin, Ben, Eric, Samuel, Tall, Troy, Tim, Luna, XZen, Sean, Greg, Haru Yor, Pike379, and Paul. What's up? Okay, so thanks for joining, y'all. Thanks for being part of our Patreon members, and I look forward to having everyone else join us in there too as well. If you have any questions, feel free to message me on Discord, and I'll get back to y'all then. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and end it here. I'll see y'all on the next one. CTO signing out. Peace.